Hello, ninth grade algebra. Today we are going to be talking about a Common Core State standard that states interpret complicated expressions by viewing one or more of their parts as a single entity. And the expression we are going to be looking at is the simple compound interest formula. That formula is A is equal to P times 1 plus R to the power of T. So I'm going to talk about the individual parts of this simple compound formula. I'm going to go through one example problem, and then I'm going to let you try one problem on your own. So let's get started looking at the components of this formula, the simple compound formula of A is equal to P times 1 plus R to the power of T. So A stands for the accumulated amount, or the amount after a certain number of years. And we'll use T to stand for the amount of time in years. So that's normally the amount that we're questioning, the amount that we want to find. And P stands for the principal amount in dollars usually. So that's the principal, the amount you started with, what you began with before time had passed. R stands for the interest rate. The interest rate is usually provided as a percentage, and we want to convert whatever percentage we are given into a decimal when we are utilizing this formula. And lastly, there's T, and T stands for the amount of time in years that we're trying to calculate. After how many years? What is our total after 3 years, after 5 years? That's what T stands for. So let's try this out. So what is the total amount of time after 1 year? So the initial amount that we're given is $10,000, and the interest rate we're given is 6%. So A is the amount we want to find out. That's what they're asking for. What is the total amount? So that we still don't know, so it remains a variable. A equals, well, P is our principal amount, our initial amount, then that is 10,000. We're going to multiply that by 1 plus R, which is the interest rate. And the interest rate is given to us as a percent, and we want to transfer that into a decimal. And 6% as a decimal is 0.06. And T, the amount of time, well, they said it's 1 year. So that is 1. We are going to add what's in the parentheses first. So A is equal to 10,000, and 1 plus 0.06, that is 1.06 to the first power. So 1.06 to the first power, well, that's 1.06. So 10,000 times 1.06 is equal to $10,600. So if you start with $10,000 and you leave it for 1 year at 6% interest, or 0.06, after that year, you will have $10,600. So let's try this on your own. So what is the total amount after 4 years? If you're given an initial amount of $1,000 with an interest rate of 6%, how much will you have after 4 years? Go ahead and try to complete this one on your own. And I know you wrote it down in your notes, but I'll write it again. The formula is A equals P times 1 plus R to T. Okay, let's see what you came up with. So A is what we want to know. P, we were told, is 1,000 times 1 plus R is 6%. We're writing this as a decimal, so that's 0.06. And T, we're told, is 4 years. So this is 4. Again, we're going to add this first. So A equals 1,000 times 1 plus 0.06 is 1.06 to the 4th power. So A equals 1,000 and 1.06 to the 4th power is approximately, I'm going to round to 4 decimal places, 1.2625. So 1,000 times 1.2625. And I'm not going to utilize any decimals. I'm just going to round it to the nearest dollar. Is $1,262. So if you start with 1,000 at an interest rate of 6%, after 4 years, this is the amount that you will have.